Well, folks, the Football Manager 2019 beta is finally here, which means I can finally record in front of my beloved green screen again and have none of those noisy content creators in the background. It also means that it's time to give away a copy of the game. Full details of the giveaway are going to be at the end of this video. There's also a link down in the description where there's also a link where you can buy the game for a bargain price of £27.89p using my discount code. That's at the time of recording. It's obviously subject to change, but that includes beta access as well. So that link is down in the description. The giveaway is down in the description. And now we're going to crack on with this Chelsea save. Hello and welcome to part one of my Football Manager 2019 beta save with Chelsea. I'm Kev, and everybody's first question seems to be, Kev, why Chelsea? So just to quickly answer, Kev, why Chelsea? It was a very simple process. I usually like to manage a Premier League team in the beta, and I had a look through all of the big Premier League clubs that I've managed during my time doing Football Manager on YouTube, and the only two I haven't ever managed are Manchester United and Chelsea. And we basically tossed a coin. I mean, it could have been either of them. The fact that it was Chelsea this year means it's pretty much guaranteed to be Manchester United next year. So if you're looking forward to Manchester United, just 1 year away. But we're going to have a look at Chelsea today, obviously. Now, some of you may have watched the live stream that I did here on YouTube last night, where we basically went through from picking the manager, picking the team, all the way through to now, the morning of our first game of the season. But if you didn't catch that stream, or if you'd appreciate a summary anyway, we are just going to go through a bit of a summary of what players we've brought in. Spoilers, we raided Ajax, and what tactics we're going to be using. If you want to have a look at the new tactic system, training system, all that stuff in more detail, or get a better idea of my first impressions of the game, there's videos about that linked down in the description. I did in-depth looks at training, tactics, transfers. I've done a first look. I've done a 3-hour stream going through the first 3 hours of the game. This is going to be just a proper Let's Play series where we're not really going to dig too much into the new features, although I have left the purple on for now. On the Bayern series I've done, I haven't had the purple on. The purple's growing on me. We're keeping purple for now. But we are managing Chelsea. So let's have a little look at the situation at Chelsea. The thing that surprised me most upon arrival at Chelsea was the media prediction last time I looked was 5th. But it's apparently gone to 3rd. Hold on a second. Season preview. We've gone up to 3rd. Clearly, the media are impressed with our transfers, because when I was streaming this last night, the media predicted a 5th place finish for us. Clearly, I've made a difference, and we're now 3rd favourites for the league, which I am fully on board with. We also won the Community Shield against Manchester City. We've had a very successful pre-season, and in a departure from usual Kev, I have managed every single one of these pre-season games. We've been training tactics. We've been tweaking tactics and picking tactics according to games. I'm doing my own training. I'm doing my own team talks. This is new ground for me, but we have got our first trophy, winning the Community Shield against Manchester City, although to be fair, it's a very rotated Manchester City side and a pretty much first choice Chelsea side. But that's beside the point. We still won the match. But now we know we're supposed to be finishing 3rd. The board are also expecting a Champions League finish, plus they want us to get to the finals of the FA Cup and the Europa League, so potentially going to be a long season. But let's show you the transfers that we've been getting involved in. So 4 in, 4 out, but 3 of the outs are loans. So we're going to have a look at the 4 who've arrived first. Obviously, signing number 1, a hero of backing the Borough from last season. We have signed Joe Anderson from Everton under-18s to go into our under-18s. 17-year-old Joe Anderson just confuses me because I'm used to him being nearly 40. He's got decent potential. I think with the right development, he might actually go on to be a player we might be able to give a Premier League game to. He's probably going to go out on loan to Hemel Hempstead for this season. They've just put an offer in for him. I did try and sign Sir Tom Elliott as well, but he actually turned me down. I made an offer for Sir Tom Elliott. Where is he? Yeah, he's now just Tom Elliott because he didn't want to discuss terms with Chelsea, having recently signed for Darlington. So he's been stripped of his knighthood. He's now just Tom Elliott. We will try again in January, and he might get his knighthood back then. But I did do some proper transfers as well, and I mentioned I've raided Ajax, possibly overpaid a little bit, but talking to some of the people in the stream, some of these are bargains as well. Kasper Dolberg, you'll see, has been loaned back to Ajax immediately. That was really to get around the fact that he failed his medical. We did try and sign him initially, and he just failed a medical. Someone suggested, try and sign him with an immediate loan back, and he doesn't do a medical. and which I thought was nonsense. Someone else in the chat said, yeah, but he's then going to have to do 2 medicals, one to arrive with us, one to go back to Ajax. Apparently the first person was right. He didn't have to do a medical. So despite the fact he would have failed a medical during the transfer window, we have secured the signing of Dolberg. He arrives in January, but for now he is loaned back out to Ajax again. So we haven't quite got the new striker we were looking for just yet, but we have added ourselves some depth in other positions again through raiding Ajax. We've signed Delight to play as our backup centre-back, 18 years old, 7 caps for the Netherlands already, obviously 5-star potential. He's probably the first wonder kid you go for if you're a Premier League manager in FM19, because he's the one that all the fuss is about, and we have secured him. We spent a lot of money on him, but a lot of that is add-ons. Can we explore the transfer in more depth? I don't actually know how we go about doing that. Would it be in contract info? So a lot of this stuff is... No, I don't know how we would look at that. Good work, Kev. It was basically 17.5 million up front and then a bunch more money spread out over various amounts of time. So it wasn't 35 million in one go. I think in previous years that would show as about 20 million, but they're now showing the full value of the deals on this page. We certainly haven't spent 35 million in one go. We haven't spent 73 million pounds this summer because we only had 48 million pound to begin with, and as you can see, we've only sold one player. And then the last player we brought in, again from Ajax, Frenkie de Jong, 21-year-old central midfielder, holding midfield player, again signed for potential and the fact that he's from Ajax, and we wanted to bring 3 players in from them because I quite like the look of Ajax. I'm tempted to make them my stream save when we get up and running on Twitch again next week. Twitch link is down in the description. And with all of that, there are, of course, players who've left the club. Dolberg, as we've already discussed, has gone back on loan to Ajax. Joe Anderson will be going out on loan as well. A couple of the youth players have also left. And having brought in Delight, we've sold Gary Cahill to Watford. He was our captain. He was never going to get in the team. I decided to just move him on rather than having him rot in our reserves and as a team leader get grumpy. So he's been moved on to Watford, and we are playing Watford now, so we're going to get to see Gary Cahill in action. Those of you who are here on a Chelsea save because you're big Gary Cahill fans. But having moved him out of the club, Eden Hazard has replaced him as team leader, and Azpilicueta becoming captain, David Luiz vice captain. So that's the look of the squad, and this is the look of the team. As I mentioned before, we have 3 different tactics being trained. We're actually not using the tactic today that we used against Manchester City in the Community Shield. Against Manchester City, we used a customised fluid counter-attacking system, and it worked a treat. But we're playing Watford at home. We don't want to be counter-attacking against them. The board are looking for us to play attacking possession football. So we've got a couple of systems using the control possession tactical style that we're training. We've got this 4-3-3, and we're also training a 4-2-3-1 as well. But I don't think we necessarily signed the attacking midfielder we would have wanted to get this system up and running. So I think we're going to be using this as our main system for games we expect to win, and this for games where we're just trying not to lose. So this is our 11 for today. We've got Kepa in goal, a back 4 of Alonso, Luiz, Rudiger and Azpilicueta, with Jorginho in behind the midfield 2 as a half-back. Now, there was a little bit of debate in the stream last night whether he should be a half-back, maybe a deep line playmaker, maybe a regista. I'm referring back to my own video I made with Miles about tactics, where he said you don't want 2 playmakers in your midfield, which is why I'm steering clear of deep line playmaker and regista at the moment, because we've got Kovacic as an advanced playmaker. If we were to shuffle things around so that we played someone in here and moved Jorginho forward, then obviously he could be a playmaker then, but as it stands, he's going to be a half-back for now, unless it looks like it's definitely not working. Kante is a box-to-box midfielder. Again, could have played him in that slot, but I like the fact that he can just run forever, so I want him as my box-to-box midfielder. I love to have a box-to-box midfielder, and he's very much the best one that we've got. And then Kovacic, as mentioned, as a playmaker. Then we've got Morata up front, supported by Hazard and Willian. Hazard as an inside forward, Willian as a winger. I think that's a pretty decent looking side. We've obviously got one of the new boys down on the bench, Delight. Some of these players I've never seen play so far because they've only just come back from their holidays after the World Cup. So Hazard, Kante, Giroud, they've had no part at all in our pre-season. They weren't available for the Community Shield. So there's potentially going to be a few fitness issues you can see with Kante and Hazard, not close to match fit, but I think we have to play them for our first game of the new season. But enough talk. Let's play that first game. We're at home against Watford, which If Miles wasn't the guy making the game, you'd think that was a fairly comfortable first game. But as we all know from previous football managers, Watford are always super overpowered. I'm joking. If anyone from Sports Interactive is, they're super overpowered. But they are coming here to defend. So maybe, there you go. Look, Gary Cahill hovering around in their defence. But we're going to beat them, and we're going to. Look at this, team talks from Kev. We're going to come out there and passionate and say, look, passionately, we've got to win. It's our first game of the new season. Zola can do the individual talks. But we've got to go out there, impress the fans, win the match. David Luiz is truly fantastic. Fabregas picked up an injury in the Community Shield. I really love the fact it gives me details of the injury on this screen now that it never did before. I can see he's going to be back soon. I think we'll be fine without him. I don't see where actually Fabregas fits into this. If this is our first 11, I don't see that Fabregas is a part of it. Maybe if we do the 4-2-3-1, Fabregas goes into that number 10 role. But there's other options we've got at the club who could go in there. Anyway, we could move Hazard across and bring Pedro into the side. We've got Ross Barkley knocking about the place as well. There are other players who, I don't know, I'm toying with the idea of, I almost moved Fabregas on. What a start. Okay, it's 13 minutes on the clock. It's the first highlight we've seen, though. And although we're not playing the counter-attacking system or a pressing system, we've done a bit of a pressing counter-attack there. Kovacic just chasing down on Cahill. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we sold Gary Cahill to Watford. Because he's a bit slow and a bit old. But that's a lovely bit of attacking football from Kovacic. He did brilliantly there. Excellent bit of pressing. Lovely finish. We're 1-0 up and looking good. Willian runs in from the right-hand side, knocks it back to Kante, and it's with Kovacic. And look at how we're knocking the ball around the midfield. I love the way the ball curves in Football Manager 2019 as well. You saw it on that pass there. We just won a penalty. Now, there's a bit of a shout for one, but alas, 'twas not given. I would like to point out as well, there are a few people saying they've not made any changes to the match engine this year, have they? Are we not looking at the same match engine? To me, those player models look so much more detailed than they did last year. It all flows so much better. It looks like a really polished, pretty game now. I don't want it to look like FIFA or Pro Evo or any of these other games. I want it to look like Football Manager. I want the focus and the development time to go in making the management sim good. But at the same time, it looks polished and pretty now. Right, let's just adjust these so that they're showing the stuff I like them to show. We also need to put our stats and stuff on the screen because obviously all the stuff I had set up for the Bayern series was all set up on a computer down at Sports Interactive Towers. So this is my first opportunity to get this set up on the beta version here at home. So what do we need to add on? We need match information. We need a league table. I like to know what the opposition formation is. Is there anything else we like to have? Match stats is the other thing. We're going to get that out of the way for a minute, though, because hopefully we're about to score another goal. Willian down the right-hand side to Morata, and Morata does nod it in. It was a lot of stick for Morata in the stream last night, but I did try and explain that just because you maybe don't like Morata in real life doesn't mean that he's not going to be an effective striker in Football Manager. He's a 4-star current ability striker who's a natural complete forward. I would suggest, for what I want, he's as good a striker as we're going to get with the budget that we were working with, and Dolberg will be a perfectly adequate backup for him when he arrives. But I don't see how we're going to get any better than Morata, and he's shown it again there. Lovely finish. We've absolutely dominated the game. Look at the state of that. 66% possession, 13 shots. We have been all over Watford, and how can I be anything other than very happy with that as a first half performance, because that was excellent. Right, we need to carry on getting our screen set up. We do have the option to switch over to our other tactic at some point if we need to as well. So if we get 65, 70 minutes into the game, still 2-0 up, we're going to switch over to our fluid counter-attacking system and just try and shut the game down. Oh, it's a new world. It's a new Kev, everybody. Morata across to Willian, and it just whistles wide. I need a long highlight so I can set my screen up. For goodness sake, look at that. We're making their defence look awful. Alonso now. Cross comes in from the free kick. Doesn't really get anywhere. Right, are we actually going to get hold of some of this now? We want the formation down there. I'm trying to get this set up the way we had it set up in FM18 because I'm just used to the screen looking that way. And we've just scored a goal, and because I'm fiddling with the screen, I don't know who scored it. Somebody tell me what happened. Right, good job replays exist. Willian then. Over to Kovacic. Kovacic heavily involved again. Plays it into Hazard. Hazard. Okay, so it's a shot properly hard into the genital region of Cathcart, and it's gone in off his. And yeah, 3-0. I think now is as good a time as any to say, right, let's just wrap this up, lads. Let's get off the two players who are struggling for match fitness. There's no reason for them to still be on the pitch. So Pedro and Barkley can come on into the midfield. We'll go to our counter-attacking version of the tactic and just shut the game down. That's all we need to do at this point. No need to continue trying to be fancy. Let Watford have a little bit more of the ball, but make sure they only have it in their half. And try and be a tactical genius, because hashtag Kev does tactics. Right, Kovacic. I guess this is where having Fabregas available would have been handy, because I would quite like. I think what I'm going to do, because I've not seen him play yet, is we'll just get Giroud on for the last 10 minutes, and we'll just have a look at Giroud and see if because obviously with Dolberg coming in January, and we're only playing a one striker, Giroud is probably someone we're going to look to move on in January, because I don't think we need Morata, Giroud and Dolberg, especially with some of the young players that are knocking around at Chelsea as well, which we haven't even scratched the surface of yet. But my word, are there some young players knocking around at Chelsea that we can start getting into this team as time goes on. But what a performance for a first game of a new season, first game of a new club, first game of a new save. I am utterly delighted with that, and so are all the players as well. Oh, what a result. As I mentioned at the start of the video, there is going to be a giveaway of Football Manager 2019. All the links to that are down in the description. It's very simple to do though. You basically just have to subscribe to the channel. If you're already subscribed, you still have to click on the link just to confirm you're subscribed so that you go into the entry pot. But you can enter by subscribing to the channel, following me on Twitch, following me on Twitter, or liking my Facebook page. There'll also be an option to retweet this video as well and share it with your friends. All of those get you one entry. The competition's only going to run for a couple of days. It closes Sunday night, so Monday morning I'm going to open that up, draw a winner, and that person will be sent a free copy of Football Manager 2019, including access to the beta and FM Touch and all the other stuff that normally comes with it. If you're not lucky enough to win, though, don't forget there is that link to my affiliate link that is going to support the channel if you use it, but also is going to get you the best price I've been able to find. You can pick up Football Manager 2019, including the beta, for £27.89 at the time of recording, using the link that is down in the description. I've not seen a better price than that. It's the one I'll be using to buy the game that I'm going to give away. But let me know down in the comments what you thought of that as a first episode. Do you agree with my transfers? Would you have done anything differently? And which Chelsea youngsters should I be looking to bring into our Premier League squad? Because I know there's a lot, and one of them was Martel Taylor-Crossdale, and it excited me. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.